Ladies, welcome to day 4 of your 5-day reset. Well done for still being here. This is the start of a new beginning for you. I don't underestimate how difficult it is to commit to yourself every day and do these things every day. Not everyone has been able to do that, and there's no judgment there. But if you are still listening to this, if you are watching this, then well done, because you are still here. You are making changes and commitments to yourself which are going to last a lifetime. Now, if you're listening to this podcast in the future, I really hope that you've enjoyed this reset so far, and even though you're not coming along with it live, you will still get loads out of it. If you completed our live workout first thing this morning, well done. Well done for showing up for yourself. I know for some of you that was probably a really early start to the day and you're not used to doing it. If you haven't yet done it, I really hope that you do it a bit later on in the day. It's only 30 minutes. Take that time for yourself and make sure that you get it done. Now, whilst that live workout was our task for today, I still wanted to provide you with some content around movement and why I believe it is so important. And in fact, why I believe it's the solution to that low energy, that low motivation, that exhaustion, that fatigue that so many of you are feeling right now. And I know that you're feeling that because a lot of you put that in your forms. You've shared it with me in the group. Now, when we talk about being active and being more active, we don't, I've already shared this with you. It doesn't mean getting in the gym 7 days a week. It doesn't mean working out every day of the week. It doesn't mean that every workout has to be an hour or 90 minutes. Just generally being more active than what you were before. And that could be just by increasing your steps every day. You will be improving your health, your overall health. You will be improving your sleep. You will be improving how you feel mentally. You will be improving your energy levels, your concentration levels. Being active, moving your body, undertaking exercise is undoubtedly the number one act of self-care that you can do. Undoubtedly, irrespective of whether or not you have weight to lose, you just being more active will be doing wonders for your health. And if you are perimenopausal or postmenopausal, then exercise absolutely will be helping you to manage those those symptoms. I know how hard it can be when you've not had very much sleep, when you just feel exhausted and lethargic, to push yourself to exercise. But it is so important for you to find a routine and a way of fitting this in that fits in for you and that works for you, because it is, like I say, irrespective of having weight to lose, if you are undertaking activity regularly, you will be doing a monumental amount for your health. It's so important. So many of you have told me that you have low mood, you've got no energy, you're tired and exhausted all the time, you're quite stressed. Movement is the answer to all of this. Okay, movement is the antidote to all of these things. And I know that at times that sounds and feels really counterintuitive, but I explained on a previous day, we were not designed to be sat at a desk or on a sofa all day, every day. That's not what human beings were designed to do. Movement is the best thing you can be doing for your health. Health, not help. Now, I often get asked, what's the best exercise to do? And I advocate for strength training, so using resistance and weights to get the best results, particularly if you have body composition goals, okay? But that's not going to be the starting place for everyone. That's going to keep you fit, healthy, strong, and independent for, a long time. One of the things I always say is, I want to be able to get myself up and down off of the toilet every day. I don't want to get to my 80s and 90s and for Charlie to have to be doing that for me. That's my son, by the way. But so the first place to start, though, if strength training, resistance training, weight training, whatever you want to call it, is completely new to you, is to start with what you enjoy. Because if you don't enjoy it, or find a way of enjoying it, you're not going to do it. So for some of you, that might just be getting out for more of a walk every day. It might be booking onto a couple of classes in the gym. It might be doing a step workout in your living room. And then what I want you to do is, once that starts to become a habit, I want you to incorporate strength training. Now, if you need help doing that, that is exactly what we will be doing on the at-home program, which starts on Monday. So you can send me a message and we can talk about whether that's right for you. If you have an injury, and I know some of you here do have some injuries, you can do something about it. Okay. You can absolutely still find ways of moving. So you can be making sure that you are strengthening your joints. So, for example, I'm thinking about a couple of my bootcamp ladies. So a couple of them are hypermobile, a couple of them get knee pain because of that. The best thing they can be doing, they could use that as an excuse, but the best thing they could be doing is strengthening the muscles around the knee joints so that those muscles keep the joints in place. If you have an injury that is preventing you from exercising, seek out medical help and make sure that you're getting the support that you need to get you back to movement. Okay, make sure you've got a plan. Make sure that plan is incrementally helping you to improve your movement. So if you are quite prone to injury, so if you've previously been quite sporty, I used to run a lot. That was my first introduction to exercise. And after I ran the London Marathon, and my knees, I'm hypermobile as well, my knees were just in pieces. And the best thing I have ever done for my knees is to weight train, because they have never been stronger. I have so few problems with them now. Weight training and seeing an osteopath have absolutely changed how I'm able to move about after just completely destroying my knees in running. So what I want to talk to you about is where you've been going wrong with exercise, okay? Because I've just told you exercise is your absolute antidote to stress, to exhaustion, to low mood, low energy, to fatigue. And you're probably sitting there, some of you are probably sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, Chrissy, I can't think of anything worse than going and running 5K or doing this class or doing that. I just don't have the energy, okay? And that mindset, again, we come back to mindset every single time, but that mindset is likely from some of the following things. Now, I absolutely know that, we're all busy. We are all busy. There's some injuries here. There's some menopause in this group playing silly buggers as well. But you don't have to just accept that is how you feel. You can still do something despite those things. So here are the things that you've been going wrong with and the things that you've been focusing on that haven't been helping you. So number one is focusing and worrying about the calories that you are burning whilst you're working out. Now, listen, don't get me wrong. I love a smartwatch. I got this Apple Watch for Christmas. And before that, I was a long time Garmin user. I love my smartwatches. But the calories that they tell you you've burned, just like the calories on the cardio machines in the gym, are irrelevant. They don't matter. If you want a workout that burns tons and tons of calories, I can give you one. I can give you a workout that burns 500 calories in 1 hour. But here's the thing. It does not mean that it was an effective workout for you and your goals. It just means your heart rate was super high for an hour, and that you probably did loads of jumping around, loads of burpees, loads of star jumps, and all of these things. That's what it likely means. Calorie burn on the machines on your smartwatch does not indicate that your workout was effective. It doesn't indicate that you're building strength. It doesn't indicate that you are strengthening your joints, that you are improving your balance, that you are improving your muscle tone. It doesn't even really indicate whether you are improving your cardiovascular health. Okay. What I've already talked about is how important strength training is, especially as women. Okay, our bones, as we get older, this happens to everyone, but particularly women, particularly as our estrogen levels start to drop, our bones lose bone density. And what that means is we become at greater risk of osteoporosis. Now, I'm really sorry if this has happened to you, because it's happened in my family. I'm sure that lots of you know someone that this happens to, but when a grandparent or someone elderly, they fall, most often they break their hips or they break a limb. And then from there, it is so often an indicator of declining health. You know, both of my step grandparents broke their hips, and it wasn't long after that both of them passed away, because you lose independence, you then lose motivation, it becomes a really, really difficult life, and then all of these other things start happening. So that osteoporosis, where the bones become weaker because of lack of bone density, can lead to really big problems in later life. And I don't know about you, but I don't want that to happen. I want to be able to be fit, healthy, and mobile. And the best way to do that, the best way to improve your bone density, is with strength training. So focusing on your calorie burn is not going to tell you that you have built strength and you've done something great for your bones. So that's the first thing that the first way you've been going wrong with exercise. The second way that you've been going wrong with exercise is thinking about how much you've sweat. Now, this is something that I used to believe. I used to believe that if I wasn't sweating during a workout, if I didn't leave that class, leave that gym, leave my living room where I'd done a home workout, absolutely drenched in sweat and beetroot red, that I wasn't doing a good workout. I used to believe that sweat was fat crying. I used to believe I needed to sweat it out, and the more I sweat, the more body fat I would be losing. No, it's not your body getting rid of fat. It's just your body getting rid of moisture. And if you are sweating, you're likely to then be dehydrated. There's nothing wrong with sweating. I'm quite a sweaty exerciser. I know some people that barely break a sweat. My husband, for example, very rarely sweats. But just because I'm sweaty and he's not doesn't mean I'm doing a more effective workout than he is. I mean, it does. I'm a qualified personal trainer, but you know, but it doesn't mean that I'm burning more fat, I'm going to lose weight quicker, that my workout is being more effective. It doesn't. What it means is I've got hotter. I've got hotter, I'm a sweatier person. That's what it means. That's all it means. So stop focusing on how sweaty you get in a workout. The next mistake you've been making is on focusing on high intensity training all the time and lots of cardio. So you've either been doing lots of HIIT workouts or lots of cardio. And the problem with this is that we focus on jumping around, things like spinning, things like running, because again, we'll see the calorie burn goes high when we're doing HIIT workouts and lots of cardio. We may sweat more, we'll feel more out of breath. So we think that that's a more effective workout. Actually, what you're likely to be doing is tiring yourself out And even more so, you will be pushing your hunger up. Now, don't get me wrong. I love spinning. I really, really enjoy spinning. And for the last 2 years now, I've got myself a pair of spinning shoes. I've really, really enjoyed it. But what I really noticed is how hungry I was and how tired I was. Because I just, I don't just sit there pedaling. I go hard on a spinning bike because I enjoy it so much. And so I've cut back the last few months, I've cut back on my spinning. And I've made more progress on my body composition goals through cutting out on that spinning. I was doing it every Friday than I had in the previous year. Now, does that mean I'm never going to spin again? No. Does that mean when I live in a bigger house, I won't get myself a Peloton bike? No, I really enjoy it, but I don't need to be doing it all the time. Okay, you're tiring yourself out. You're probably pushing your hunger up. And again, you're thinking that the fact that your heart rate is high and that you're sweating and that you're probably a bit out of breath means you're having an effective workout. And that's not what it means. Most of you will want to look toned. Okay, most of you want that toned look, that lean, that toned look where you can see a little bit of muscle definition. That's great. I love that. But to look toned, you need to drop body fat and show muscle. Now, if you haven't got any muscle, you need to build muscle. I want you to think of some long distance runners. Whenever I think of this, I think of Paula Radcliffe, right? Paula Radcliffe is a very straight up and down lady. Okay, she doesn't really have any boobs. She doesn't really have a bum. Her legs are very thin. Yes, they've got muscle, but she is very thin. Okay, that's because most long distance endurance runners don't have a shape or tone because their body is trained to do that endurance running for a long time. So they actually don't build muscle. Lots of running, lots of cycling, different for sprinting. So you'll notice that sprinters, short distance sprinters, will look completely different to long distance runners. And the same with cyclists. Cyclists often have very muscular legs, but the rest of them is often quite small. That's because they haven't built muscle. Their focus is not on building muscle. So if you don't have any muscle, you could lose the body fat. But if you haven't built muscle, you're going to get that term. I don't like this term, but I think it really describes it well. You're going to look that skinny fat look, where you've got lots of loose skin and you can probably see, your bones, but there's nothing else there. To look toned, yes, you need to lose body fat, but you also need to build muscle. In order to build muscle, you need to lift weights. That is the most effective way of you building muscle. If you've never lifted weights before, you might start going to body pump classes. You might start going to, some other classes in your gym where the focus is low weight and high repetition. That's all great. I love those classes for getting people into weightlifting. But to truly build muscle in that way, you need to also be fueling your body in the right way. You need to be lifting weights to failure and as heavy as you can, and you need to be fueling your body well. Okay. Now, I used to believe and be really scared of building muscle. That's why I started my exercise life in running, because I used to be scared of the word muscle. I thought I would look manly, too masculine, and that I'd build too much muscle. Let me tell you, it is so hard as a woman to build muscle. And I know because I've been trying to do it for a really long time. It takes a lot of food, it takes a lot of weights, and a lot of the women that you might see on Instagram and all of that are really, really muscly probably have taken performance enhancing drugs as well. So I don't want you to be afraid of lifting weights. I don't want you to be afraid of building muscle. I want you to remember that we need muscle in order to move our bodies, in order to be strong and fit and healthy. And if we want to look toned, we need to build the muscle to do that. Cardio won't make you lean and toned. Yes, you will lose weight on the scales. You absolutely will probably lose weight on the scales, but you won't look lean and toned. You need to lift weights and you need to eat protein. Okay? You don't need to get down to your lowest weight. You don't need to be your lightest. And this is really hard to get your head around, and I do appreciate that. And I think I explained yesterday that, or maybe the day before, that, you know, I weighed 9 stone 4 pounds on my wedding day. And then over kind of 10 years, I put on and I gained and lost weight, and I became very unhealthy. And I think it was July 2020, I really lost a lot of body fat, and I got down to 9 stone 4 again. Now, I didn't do it in an unhealthy way, but I hadn't been focusing on building muscle. Yes, I'd been going to the gym. Yes, I'd been lifting weights, but my focus was losing the body fat, and I got down to 9 stone 4 again. Now, if you look at the difference in those two pictures, you can see that I'm a lot leaner, a lot more toned in the 2020 picture than I was in the 2013 picture. I had to think about when I got married. You can see that. You can see I was carrying much more body fat. Okay. But if I compare the me of 2020 to the me now, I weigh more on the scales, but I have more muscle. I have built more muscle. I have tone in my shoulders. I have tone in my stomach. I have tone on my legs. I have tone on my bum. You know, I've lost body fat, or more body fat all over those places, and I've built muscle. Yes, I weigh more on the scales, but let me tell you, compared to my wedding day, my wedding dress was a size 12. When I got down to my lowest weight during the pandemic, I was a size 8, and now I sit at an 8 to 10. And the reason I sit at an 8 to 10 is because I have a bum, I have glutes, I've grown my glutes, and often size 8 trousers don't fit me, but size 8 fits me above, although my lats have also grown. So 8 to 10. But I weigh more on the scales, and I will talk about that more tomorrow, because we're really going to focus on the scales. But lifting weights will shape and sculpt your body. There is no doubt about it. It will create a gorgeous shape on your body. Okay. It will make you also, it makes your clothes fit better. If we think about muscle is firm, this is where that muscle weighs more than fat comes from. It doesn't. A pound of muscle weighs the same as a pound of fat, but muscle is a firm, metabolically active tissue. When I say metabolically active, I mean muscle uses calories to be. Fat is so muscle is really dense and firm, and fat is wobbly and movable, and it is not metabolically active because it is energy. Fat is excess calories, it's stored calories, stored energy. So in order to shape and sculpt your body, you need to lift weights, you need to build muscle, you need to eat protein. Now, talking about being energized, having more energy, right? Your workouts should enhance your life. So I'm recording this on Thursday evening. I went back to the gym today for the first time for 2 weeks after getting COVID before Christmas. And let me tell you, it was a bit of a challenge. It was. I still feel a little bit out of breath, but I reduced my weight, so I took it easy. And honestly, I feel amazing today. Yes, I know I will sleep well tonight. I will probably be sore tomorrow, but I feel so energized for moving my body. And your workouts should enhance your life. They should make your life better. Okay, these intense workouts with lots of cardio, lots of HIIT training, lots of jumping around, they will zap your energy. They will make you more hungry, and more is not always better. Okay, more working out is not always better. I spent a few months of last year working out 5 or 6 times a week, and I'm reducing that a bit this year. I'm reducing it down to 4 or 5 times a week. More isn't always better. Just like I said yesterday, eating less isn't always better. Your diet and your exercise should enhance your life, not make it worse. They shouldn't be making you feel worse. So yeah, I might exercise 4 or 5 times a week, but I'm quite a conditioned individual. I've been lifting weights for about 13 years now. And so I know that that's my sweet spot. I know on a really busy week, 4 is fine. I know on a week where it's a little bit less busy and there's less stress going on, I know that 5 times a week is fine. But for you, 3 times a week is great. 3 times a week, if you're not already exercising, or you're maybe only exercising once or twice, 3 times a week is great. And it doesn't have to be for an hour, and it doesn't have to be in a gym. It can be at home. That's why we did a home workout today, because I want to show you how effective home workouts can be. That's why I'm building in a live schedule of home workouts that's why it's called the at-home program, because I'm building in a schedule of home workouts into that program. So I want you to think about how you can enhance your life through your movement. Being stronger will make your life easier. It will make your day-to-day life easier. It will give you better posture. It will improve your bone density. It will help you with menopause symptoms. It will prevent and help to prevent you from falling when you are older. It will give you stronger knee joints. If you've got aching knees or aching hips or an aching back, one of my clients, Janet, she came to me, she doesn't have a huge amount of fat to lose. In fact, Janet is in the reset, but she wanted to build some muscle. She wanted to gain some strength because she has some back problems. So we've been really focusing on that. She's lost a bit of body fat, she's gained a bit of muscle, and her back is less achy, meaning her life will improve. Because if she has a back flare up, that means time off of work, it means life is more difficult, it means she's more likely to get injured. So all of these things, these are all reasons for us to move. We can reduce our injury possibility by strength training, by moving our body well. And I want you to stop your running, your spinning, your HIIT classes if you enjoy them. I want you to complement them with strength training, because that's really important. So your goal isn't to burn calories. I never want to hear people say that when they come to my boot camps or they do my classes, or I'm in the gym with them and they say, oh, look how many calories I've burnt. It's not about how many calories you've burnt. Your steps are enough cardio. If you're getting a decent amount of steps every day, that is enough cardio. So your goal isn't to burn calories, it's to get stronger. And actually doing loads of cardio is an inefficient way to burn calories. Okay, it's really not an efficient way to burn calories. And actually your weight loss comes from your nutrition. Weight loss comes from what you are putting in your body to make sure you're in a calorie deficit. Your exercise shapes your body, and that comes with weight training, strength training, lifting weights. Okay, like I said, the at-home program will give you the opportunity to do that live with me and have access to on-demand classes as well. So if you're interested in joining at home, I would love to have a chat with you. The doors for that close at 8 p.m. on Sunday, by the way, because we start on Monday. Okay, your task for today is that workout. So if you didn't do it live this morning, then I would love for you to do it at some point today. And I would like you to share a selfie of you having just finished that workout. If you're not confident enough to do a selfie, why don't you send us a picture of your trainers or your dumbbells or your logged workout. But you're logging it, remember, to show that you've done it, not to show how many calories you've burnt. Okay, I've loved this. I will speak to you all soon and have an amazing day. Bye.